I'm Cortez, and I'm very excited to talk to you a little bit today about houseplants. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm excited to walk you through the process of picking one in a big box store, knowing what to look for, the repotting, the propagation, and everything that goes along with it. So follow me, and I'm excited to show you the way. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the different kinds that are here. You have different kinds of begonias, philodendrons, monsteras, just a variety of plants. But the one that we're going to focus on particularly is going to be the pothos and the variations that are out there. So we're going to talk a little bit about what to look out for and what to watch out for when trying to pick a house plant. This one in particular, if you take a look at the roots, it's not looking like it's doing so well down here because of all the browning leaves and everything that's dying off. In between the leaves, we can also see that there's some yellowing, which is not a good sign of health. So this isn't one that we would particularly pick up and want to grab and bring into our other plants. Now, when we bring up some of these other ones, I think this one in particular looks pretty good. It has a lot of really good growth, very long strands, lots of foliage right in the middle. And then if you look at the roots, they have some really good aerial roots. So that's something to look out for. Plants. We got a plant. Plants. We got a plant.
Oh yeah.
We've made it back home. We've sung our little song, and now we have our plant. So we're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna go ahead and repot it. So we're gonna take it completely out of its pot, shake out all of the soil that we don't want, and replace it with fresh soil to make sure it's nice and fertilized. And then we're also gonna give her a little bit of a trim to propagate some of these additional leaves and vines and tendrils that she has and create new plants. So that's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna start shaking out some of the soil and hopefully give her a new look. So some of the things that I use to repot my plants and what I find are essential is going to be the potting soil. This is the one I particularly use. It's really good for indoor potted plants. It drains really well and it helps prevent the reproduction of gnats and bacteria. So super helpful, really good blend. I found that with all of my indoor plants, it does really, really well. I also always have a pair of shears just to help trim off anything that doesn't need to be there, like any dead leaves, any roots that might have some root rot. Next step is we're going to lay out our trash bag to catch any of that old soil that comes in with the big box store plants. And typically what happens is we're going to grab her by the leaves, so some of the tendrils right underneath here. And the reason that I do that is because our plants will almost always come in their nursery pot. So with big box stores, they just kind of toss them in there and then they have the planter on the outside be more decorative, or in this case, it's a little more functional because it's actually a self-watering planter, which is really cool. So to get her out of here, I'm going to gently roll out this nursery planter to try to loosen up any of the soil that's in there. And I'm just going to gently tug her from the top. Now, typically, they'll just pop right out, which is very easy for me. Now I'm going to take out any additional labelings that she might have, and we can see that her roots are pretty bound tight. So when you see that pattern, it's called root bounding. So she was very root bound to that particular nursery pot, meaning she's probably a little too big for it. So we're going to take back some of the roots and we're going to separate it out into probably a few different plants. So I'm going to do that now. Now that she's all done with her bath, we have a total of 14 plants. That's 14 individual root systems, all squished into one nursery pot. So to help her breathe a little bit, we're going to transition her both into potted soil as well as into water. With our freshly bathed plants, we're going to go ahead and repot them into their new home in soil. And I'm going to explain this part in Spanish. Vamos a colocar todos los raíces ahora en la nueva maceta con tierra. Lo que vamos a hacer es, vamos a medir más o menos los raíces y vamos a ver una maceta que es un poquito más grande y adentro le vamos a colocar un vaso y medio de tierra para empezar el base. Entonces eso es lo que ya hice ahí. Ya que tenemos todos los raíces, vamos a ponerlo aquí en medio, colocándolo en el centro de la maceta. Ya que está en el centro, vamos a acabar de llenar la maceta con tierra hasta que llega hasta arriba. Ya cuando llega arriba es que vamos a terminarlo y ponerlo un poquito más al fondo. Now we're going to quickly talk about propagating. When we have a plant like this is a really good example of where to propagate. So we always want to cut in between the nodes and look for these little roots. So in this case, we're going to have 4 different plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, because of the nodes already producing roots. Now that we have all our cuttings, we're just going to go ahead and place it into a container full of water, and then we'll watch the roots grow. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, our new plants that came from one plant. We have 3 in soil, we have 1 in water, and then we have our propagations right here in front. Eventually, these two plants will also go on a trellis, just like this one, in a very beanstalk fashion. It gets to grow and climb as it should, but that is really what it comes down to. Hopefully, this is a lot of really great information that you can use moving forward for your own indoor plants. I am very grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be able to share this with you, and I look forward to meeting you all soon.